Hi, and welcome to another episode of In Good Company. I'm Janet Kurtz, Editor-in-Chief of In Focus.
And I'm Madeline Bradford, the Associate Editor of In Focus.
So excited to be here again this week.
I know.
Yeah.
We're approaching almost a month of In Good Company, which is crazy to think about.
I don't know how that has happened, but yet here we are.
It's really flown by.
It really has. Well, when you have so many parties to cover.
Oh, I know. I've covered 4 parties in just this past week, and 3 of those I will be talking about today.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I know. It was a bit of a week, wasn't it?
It was. And you've been up to not only parties, but other fun things.
Yes, I did. So I attended the Symphony Ball kickoff party. And the kickoff parties are just a great way for donors and supporters to get together and really celebrate the cause that is being honored that evening. And so the Symphony Ball kicked off this past week. It was great. It was Grace O and Sarah Ingram are the co-chairs this year, and the event took place at Sarah's beautiful home. And it's beautiful inside and out. So guests really had the opportunity to not only enjoy the home, but also walk into the beautiful gardens. And I have to tell you, that was so much fun. And then I also went to TPAC this week and went to a performance of The Wiz.
That's amazing. What did you think of the show?
Well, honestly, I'd never seen it before. So it was a great opportunity to get to experience a work of art that I had never seen. And that's the beauty of TPAC is they bring these shows that are touring nationwide to Nashville so that Nashvillians as a community can see these wonderful pieces of art. And it was fantastic. So much energy, such a great night.
I love that. TPAC always puts on incredible productions.
They do. They really, really do. So thank you to TPAC. Well, gosh, we've got a lot to talk about this week.
Yeah, you want to name off the parties?
Yes, so we are talking about Beyond Bourbon, Tiffany Circle Fall Luncheon, Dinner by the Bridge, the Girl Scout Luncheon, so great, a Tennessee Waltz, Mad Hatter with an interview with Fresh Faces of Philanthropy, Alex Nelson. And so we'll kick it off. You started the week with Beyond Bourbon. How was that?
So much fun. It was at Ozarts Nashville, and of course all of the funds raised went to support their amazing performances that they put on. And there were multiple VIP tasting areas throughout the venue. There was Silver Belly Whiskey, Southbound Tequila. There was a Beyond Burgundy tasting that I was a part of.
Oh, you're speaking my language.
I was so glad that I got to sit in on that. There were these prime Chardonnays from the Burgundy region. We got to try 6 of them, and everyone in the room was very knowledgeable. It felt very educational, sitting there and listening to everybody talk about Burgundies and their thoughts on them and, aging, sourcing, and all of that good stuff.
Oh, so much fun. And then you went into the main room, and I understand not only were there bourbons and vodkas and tequilas, Killjoy was there with their non-alcoholic spirits.
Exactly.
Is that right?
That is correct. And there was really a little something for everybody. Everyone could get in on the excitement and enjoy the drinks, whether they wanted to drink alcohol or not.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun. And I'm so glad that we were there to cover that.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about Tiffany Circle Fall Luncheon.
Yes. So this week, we can't be at everything. We want to be, but we can't be at everything.
We do.
So we have this wonderful group of contributors, and one of our most delightful contributors is Beth Alexander, who is a former editor-in-chief of In Focus. She was actually the editor after Herbert, and she attended the event for us. It was hosted by Louise Bryan, Catherine Crosswaith, and Christy Turner, and it just is such a fun afternoon of friendship. And women who are so committed to the cause of the American Red Cross. So they really talked about the importance of the Red Cross and how these funds not just help here in the community, but help worldwide. The speaker was Becky Streifler, who's the Vice President of Service to Armed Forces. And what that provides is comfort and safety to troops at home and abroad. So that could be anything from housing needs to even mental health support, which is so important. And so her work is so crucial to our armed services, and so really wonderful to hear about that. So look for Beth's coverage in our November issue. And that same night, You were at Dinner by the Bridge.
I was. Dinner by the Bridge was for Greenways for Nashville. And one thing about Nashvillians is that we love our Greenways.
Yes, that's right.
It was at Peabody Union, which is this new venue, event space, apartment complex, hotel extravaganza. But they have this beautiful terrace with all of these long tables set up. And it was a beautiful al fresco evening.
Great.
Beautiful views of the pedestrian bridge as well. And it was just very fitting because of the cause.
Yes.
And Mayor Freddie O'Connell actually gave his second year speech, honoring him being in office for exactly 2 years on that date.
Wow.
And he highlighted the public transit referendum, how he's already improved the WeGo bus system, built a lot of sidewalks around the city, and also how he wants to continue preserving and prioritizing greenways as the city continues to expand.
Well, I know I can speak for the greenways. I have used them for years, but also all of Nashville, I think, felt like we're on the greenways during the pandemic because it was one of the spaces that we could go to kind of escape the four walls of our homes. And so they're very important to just the infrastructure and just the, I don't know, green health of Nashville.
Totally. And that was emphasized by every single board member that was there, which was really special.
Good. Oh, that's fantastic.
So the next day, In Focus covered the Girl Scout Luncheon.
Yes, that's right. So another one of our delightful contributors, Gloria Hoagland, covered this for us. I happened to have been in the room, and it was such a special day. Now, I don't remember, were you a Girl Scout?
I was a Girl Scout.
I was a Girl Scout too.
Really?
It was just a magical, wonderful time, and I learned so much, and I still have those friends to this day.
That's amazing.
I know. So our co-chairs for that event were Amy Atkinson and Michelle Gaskin-Brown. They did such a great job. And then what was so fun, they had these three amazing women, Michelle Kennedy from the Predators, Candace Story-Lee from Vanderbilt University Athletics, and Lindsay Paola from Nashville SC. On stage and really doing this panel discussion, they were so interesting and really gave me a lot of validation because they talked about how they were not necessarily the top athletes when they were growing up. I was definitely not the top athlete growing up. I loved it, but I was not very good at it. So it was really good to hear about that. But you know, there are statistics that are thrown around talking about how 50% of the women in the C-suites are past student athletes, you know, that they grew up playing sports, and that taught them a lot about leadership and just growing through sports were just so important. So that was really fun. We heard from the CEO of Girl Scouts America, and that was incredible. I have to tell you, exciting news. There's a new cookie drop.
And it's really good.
Right here. You heard it here. This is the Explore Moors, and it is Rocky Road ice cream inspired. So very excited. You heard it in Good News. Now, the weekend, you and I were both at a lot of things.
So many things.
So you were at Tennessee Waltz. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's how I spent my Saturday night at the Tennessee State Capitol in support of the Tennessee State Museum, which does such a fabulous job of telling the history of our great state. It's one of the best state museums in the country, I think.
Yeah.
And the entrance to the Capitol was so grand. You walk up this big staircase, there's a red carpet, you get escorted in, and then everybody is mingling from the very beginning. It was a jam-packed room, wonderful turnout. And during dinner, there were a lot of remarks from some Tennessee State legislator members. And then the celebrity guest was Gary Morris, who originally sang The Wind Beneath My Wings.
Oh.
He performed an acoustic rendition of that. And he also starred as Jean Valjean on Broadway with Linda Ronstadt in the same production.
Oh my gosh, of Les Miserables.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so he performed Bring Him Home from that musical as well.
Oh my gosh, was there a dry eye in the room? Because that is a stunning.
It was a stunning rendition. It was
Yeah.
so beautiful. And then the co-chairs, Dawn and Trey Hargett, started the dancing off as Gary sang the Tennessee Waltz.
Oh.
They were dancing at the front of the room. It was a very sweet moment. And then everybody else joined in towards the end of the night and danced until the evening was over.
That sounds so great.
It was wonderful.
Wonderful. Well, while you were doing that, I was at the Mad Hatter. And the Mad Hatter is a benefit for the Sexual Assault Center. And we actually had Alex Nelson, who was one of our Fresh Faces of Philanthropy, here talking about Mad Hatter and the work that is done by the Sexual Assault Center. Hi, I'm Janet Kurtz, Editor-in-Chief of In Focus, and I'm here today with Alex Nelson, here to talk about Mad Hatter and its beneficiary, the Sexual Assault Center. You all may remember Alex. She was one of our Fresh Faces of Philanthropy from 2025, and we're so glad to have you here.
I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for taking your time out today.
Of course.
You know, Mad Hatter is such a fun event.
So fun.
And is so important. It represents such an important cause.
Absolutely.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the Sexual Assault Center and maybe even some of your work with them?
Yeah, so the Sexual Assault Center, or SAC, is the only nonprofit organization in Nashville dedicated to just sexual assault. So survivors can go for therapeutic services, clinical services, advocacy help, really anything they need during a very, very challenging part of their life. Mm-hmm. And this event is a really beautiful way to celebrate the triumph that survivors go through and help fund the center to make it possible for them to have a different life other than one of maybe just a painful event or suffering.
Right. So that's wonderful. Well, tell us a little bit about Mad Hatter for some of our audience that may not be familiar with it.
Yeah, Mad Hatter is such a fun event. We've had it at multiple different locations all around Nashville. This year, I believe it's at the Conrad. So it's going to be a really beautiful gala event. I co-chaired the auction actually the last 2 years. It's kind of known as one of the best auctions in Nashville, and I anticipate this year will be even better.
Oh, wow. What would we see there maybe?
You'll see hotel stays, you'll see exclusive like whiskeys and bottles of wine, you'll see exclusive dining experiences like having a private chef in your home.
Oh, fantastic.
Wonderful things, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds so much fun. Well, what are you most looking forward to for the event?
I love the mission moments throughout the event because they take real statistics about sexual violence. Like 1 in 4 women will experience sexual violence in their life.
Oh, wow.
And they will go and really make those into stories that are not positive, of course, because it's a very challenging thing, but they'll shed light on like the fact that this could happen to anyone, mm-hmm. and they're doing the best to make sure that if it does, that those people have a safe place to go and to heal. So the mission moments I think are fantastic. Of course, this year we're gonna have a lot of fun like activities within the room, so you can make your own hat, which is also super fun.
Oh, that's so great.
It's Mad Hatter, so hats are encouraged, but if you forget one, you can make one there, which I think that's gonna be so fun. And I think they're gonna have like a caricature artist, so it's gonna be really great.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here. It was so great to see you again.
Yes.
And we will see you on Saturday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, anyway, it was great to see Alex again. So Mad Hatter, the evening of it was so unique. It is such a jubilant theme. Everyone is encouraged to wear hats. And by the way, the more outrageous the hat, the better.
Of course.
And there were some really great ones, I have to tell you. And really people leaned into the creativity of the evening. They started with a champagne toast that was out on the terrace and at the Conrad. And it was just first of all, beautiful evening. The weather could not have been better. So there was a champagne toast. Then they moved into a silent auction. There was hat making as kind of an immersive experience. So if you didn't wear a hat, you could wear one home because you made it right there.
I love an activity at a party. That's amazing.
I know. So that was really fun. And then they also had a live painter doing watercolor caricatures of guests. Oh. And that was just wonderful to see. She was a beautiful artist. Her work was so great. Then it was time to sit down, and Rachel Freeman, who is the executive director of the Sexual Assault Center, spoke. And what I think she noted was that there were funding cuts, but it was time to raise money and stop being reliant on outside sources and to raise the money themselves. And I will tell you, their goal was $300,000. I'm told they raised more than $450,000 in the room that night.
That's incredible.
So great. So congratulations to the Sexual Assault Center and Mad Hatter.
Love seeing Nashvillians show up and support a cause that they're so passionate about.
Absolutely.
We see that time and time again.
And they do such important work. So really, really, really great. Well, that was that week. I know.
Do you want to tell us what's coming up next week?
Yes.
We've also got a lot.
We do have a lot, but I think it's going to be great. So we have Fall for Cheekwood, which I attended yesterday. We have Dancing for Safe Haven, which you did yesterday.
I did.
We have the Goodwill Impact Luncheon. We have New Beginnings Center Fall Luncheon. The Heritage Ball, which we are so excited about, is a very glamorous black tie event in Williamson County, all for the cause of preservation and conservation. And so we're very excited about that. And don't forget, we have a new issue launch this Thursday, October 2nd.
Yay!
We have been hard at work on this. This is our health and wellness issue. So many great articles that really address women's health, some of the issues that women's have. We talk about the St. Thomas Heart Women's Center. You wrote about that. And then I write about strength training with the New Beginnings Center. So a lot of great content in there. Plus, gosh, I don't know how many parties, but a lot of parties.
1,000 parties.
Yes. So be sure to find your print issue of In Focus, where you'd like to find your copies, or sign up for our newsletter so that you don't miss a minute. On that note, please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can get In Good Company delivered to you the second it drops. Sign up for our newsletter, and remember that together with you, our In Focus friends, we are in good company.
Cheers.
Cheers.